USL Championship Soccer on the air, and tonight a little bit later than expected. Albuquerque, New Mexico, focusing in on the lightning delay that gets us underway. Finally, Phil Shane alongside George DeMatteis and looking in Colorado Springs, hoping for a result here today.
Yeah, absolutely. They are out of the playoff race, but would love nothing more to spoil a possible playoff run for New Mexico United. So Colorado Springs have a lot to prove here, and they're trying to end a long winless streak as well.
Take a look at the way things are right now in the West, and Phoenix running away. Another convincing performance tonight, but down towards the bottom, New Mexico United holding on to a playoff berth.
Yeah, and it's going to be very important that they pick up the 3 points here, because this is the first home game and a long home stand for New Mexico. Maximum points necessary for this side from Albuquerque.
We'll find out what's in store next.
Hey, where's Roush and Justin?
I don't know, bro.
Yo, this is crazy. Y'all gotta come check this out. Come on, come on.
New Mexico United have beaten Colorado Springs twice this year, once in the regular season, once in the Open Cup. Tonight, they need another performance. And as we take a look at our starting lineups, brought to you by Michelob Ultra, Troy Lesesne needs to get the result here tonight against a team in Colorado Springs that's been struggling.
Absolutely, and Tony Soler, the lone change from the side that beat Oklahoma City 3-1 as he comes in for Juan Guzman. And it's going to be important that New Mexico United, they are strong, they make the right connections in attack against this Colorado Springs defense that is very vulnerable.
And again, you take a look, the funny point when this Colorado Springs side, guided by Wolde Harris, their offense comes from the flanks, the defensive flanks. Bert and Jome right now among the leading scorers, and we'll find out if they can get it going offensively and also protect young teenager Abraham Rodriguez in the Switchbacks net. Take a look now at our Garcia Automotive keys to the match. Tonight's match keys for New Mexico United.
And be disciplined in possession. Colorado's defense, 20 goals conceded in this 8-game winless slide, so they can be vulnerable. They have to be organized in the transition, make sure that when they link up those passes through the midfield and take advantage of those spaces in the Colorado Springs defense. And of course, set pieces, always a big time equalizer. If they can convert and do well on set pieces, then they will get those goals that will put the Colorado defense in even more under more pressure, and then get them the 3 points that they need. So that's going to be very important in this matchup for New Mexico.
As you mentioned, though, not many changes, just the one, but they don't have that much depth, and they need to try and find a way to make the key players stick around, because two huge matches with Reno or Phoenix also coming up that they will need results. We are underway. Fajardatko, the referee here tonight. Matthew Rodman, Chris Canales running the lines. Ian Yoder, the fourth official in blue. And the ball whacked back into the midfield. Colorado Springs in the white. New Mexico United in the black. And there, as you can see, at Isotopes Park, where Albuquerque's minor league baseball team plays. If you haven't watched, they have the sod laid down. Talked to Troy Lesane, the coach for New Mexico United. He says they do a good job, but it might cause problems, as we've seen in international play recently, and that might be something Colorado Springs can take advantage of.
Yeah, that will be something to watch for. Obviously, New Mexico will be able to handle that part of the pitch a little bit better. They're accustomed to it. But Colorado Springs is going to have to negotiate that. And I mentioned before, their defense is suspect, is vulnerable, Colorado Springs. So maybe that part of the pitch there with the sod laid over the baseball infield could work in their favor, in New Mexico's favor, in terms of creating or the footing a little bit off for Colorado's defense.
By the way, you hear those fans in the background. 2-hour lightning delay, and they were still singing and chanting throughout the entire delay, and they're still at it. A hard hit here on the far side. Might have been the turf a bit, but it was the contact. And as you see, Manny Padilla a little slow getting up. Nothing too dirty, but Ronnie Argueta getting stuck in.
Argueta going over him there after he went down. But the footing on that part of the pitch was a little bit of an issue. Argueta going down and slipping a little bit. Had to recover to make the play on Padilla.
Played square. Sam Hamilton keeps it moving. Schmidt up the line, and now Santi Mor, one of the two Spanish midfielders for New Mexico United, sliding in. A little slip on the infield turf, and offside the call regardless. New Mexico United coming in 9-10 and 8. You saw the standings, 48 goals for, 47 against. Nearly twice as many goals as Colorado Springs has, but almost as bad a defense. 9th in the West, 37 points. However, they've also played one more game with one less win, which is the first tiebreaker than Real Monarchs. So currently in 9th, holding on to a playoff spot, but it's tenuous. They're 31 points behind Phoenix, and actually now 34, but they're fighting for the postseason. And 4th through 13th at this point coming into this round, separated by just 6 points. 2 wins separating a home field advantage from out of the playoffs.
In New Mexico, they had that great start to the season where they were at the top of the Western Conference, only one loss in their first 12, 13 games.
Long ball, Sandoval challenging, played wide by Reeves.
But since then, they've gone on a 5-game winless run that ended with the 3-1 victory versus Oklahoma City. So things starting to turn back around. 5-game homestand for New Mexico. If they can get 15 points, they'll be in a position where they can even get into possibly the top 5. It's still that tight.
As you mentioned, this is the start. 4 in a row at home, then a trip against Tulsa, and then closing out the season at home. We'll talk a little bit more about it, but that's going to be a special match for Troy Lesane and New Mexico, especially if they're in the playoffs or can clinch it then. Schmidt launching it long, a little too far. And again, with the baseball configuration, it is a rather narrow field. Tucker Bone bringing it down, but taken right back by United. And a 22 highly trained athletes on a short field. It could get a little chippy and choppy.
Especially these two teams that have suspect defenses that give up a lot of goals. We could see a high-scoring game between these two teams here at Isotopes Park. Potential for a goal fest is very high.
Ball slotted across, tracking it down far side. David Estrada, the ex-Seattle and DC attacker. Headed back down. Will it stay in play? Barely. But now a chance flipped in. Parried away, though, by Reeves. Not going to be easy getting the ball over. That's one reason Mexico United trying to go through the Colorado Springs defense. The entire back line is over 6 feet tall. In fact, only 3 players in the field are under 6. Chance now the other way, but it sails up and over. Tucker Bone, well, I guess out of Air Force, he's used to soaring.
This is a great play by Colorado Springs, starting in their defensive half and then through the middle to Jordan Burt, and then Tucker Bone there tries to roof the shot. But this all started with the turnover in the midfield in their defensive half. A great pass into space, and Jordan Burt, who moves in from his right back position into the middle, getting onto the end of that pass into a ton of space. Laid it out wide to Tucker Bone. Figure if Bone maybe squares it back to Burt in the middle, or a Romero. Might have been a better opportunity, but still big space in the midfield left by the New Mexico defense.
Nice work by New Mexico, harassing, but handling it well to this point. Colorado Springs, they've been the aggressors, riding the challenge, tucking it around. Chance for Romero. Oh! Squirts through the 6, but no one there to tap it home. The lone E from Otagua creating a good chance. Now down the other way, and the 2 big men, Reeves and Jack, able to shut things down. Chris Whelan challenging. Sandoval stripped. But a whistle behind the play.
And that play in which Romero was able to get down the left side and square into the middle. And if he can stop this run at the top of the 6, and Robinson was there for the pullback close to the penalty spot, and he was unmarked. Romero just going off of instinct to square into the 6. A quick look up, and we would have seen a better target with Robinson, but still, this is discouraging for the New Mexico defense early on.
Schweitzer trying to split it forward, but intercepted. Santimor through the box, and now into the area. Late tackle at the edge of the area. Chipped back across, bobbled, blasted by Sandoval! And it squirts inside the post. His 7th of the season, and New Mexico's in front.
What a goal, but well worked by New Mexico. First of all, Chris Whelan and Santimor, the little connection they had in the middle to run at this defense. And then look how Devin Sandoval strikes it. Beautiful strike, in step, one time, in the right place at the right time. A great goal by Devin Sandoval.
That United goal brought to you by Delta Dental of New Mexico. Teeth mean business, and so does Sandoval. Always showed promise at Salt Lake, but never quite delivered. He brought the Beckerman dreads with him.
Yeah,
and
very smooth.
Now finding his goal-scoring ability.
That all started, there was a good link up in the midfield there between Chris Whelan and Santimor, and allowed them to get into that attacking position. Sandoval retreating a little bit so that Moar and Whelan could have that space.
Burt rifles it into the middle. Argueta. Saeed Robinson under pressure. Jome, edge of the 18. Robinson sees it stripped away, but it will be New Mexico ball. 6-5 and 17. 17 defeats for Colorado Springs. Wolde Harris now in the hot seat on an interim basis. The former Colorado Foxes and Colorado Rapids scoring star. Finding it's a little bit harder to get other players to find the goal. Just 25 so far this season, less than a goal a game.
It's been a struggle for Colorado. The biggest problem we've had has been the defense. Give up an early goal with some slick passing through the middle. It's a surprising season. Colorado usually the last couple of seasons.
Nice chip forward, looking for the opening. Estrada harassed. Nice work by Jome, and he will get the roll here, right at home plate. Out for the goal kick.
Colorado's a team the last 2 or 3 seasons in the Western Conference, challenging or in the mix for the playoffs. But this season certainly has not gone well for them. And for New Mexico, they have this goal lead. I would suspect that they would put more pressure, try to get a second goal here, especially with this crowd very energized here at Isotopes Park.
Abraham Rodriguez launching it back across midfield. But right back the other way it comes. In to the center, just outside of the 18. Moore spins, twists, poked free, looking for a foul, none coming. Tucker Bone gets it, chips it down the line. Gonzalez does well. Now Robinson. Not sure they can keep this frenetic pace up, either team, for a while, but while it is 5,100 feet above sea level, the altitude normally an advantage for New Mexico. Colorado Springs pretty used to altitude themselves.
Absolutely. Yep. This
Sandoval.
Altitude won't be too much of a factor for either team.
For Rodriguez.
Kind of like the pressure that New Mexico is coming out. Chris Wehan is running all over the place. Trying to win the ball back.
Bone dispossessed. Suggs looking for an opening, blocked away, but right back to Moore. Came over from Bethlehem Steel after some time at Charlotte, and a lot of these players making the move. Lifted in, looking for Sandoval. Not quite enough, Jamal Jack, but Reeves takes care of the rest.
And now the game's starting to settle for New Mexico against Colorado. They want to dominate the possession here. They also want to be direct also. Turn.
Threaded through. Out comes Gonzalez bravely. Some help from Jome, but almost a second.
That's a great turn inside by Santi Moar. And Estrada does the right thing by flashing in front of Moar there and getting inside the defender. Instead of waiting for Moar to try to lift the ball over the defender, he cuts inside the defender, but pass maybe a little bit too heavy. Timing not quite precise. Still positive football, positive soccer here from New Mexico United.
Right on the near side. In front of Lesane, looking on. Has that gray suit. It's brought him luck before this season, and hoping it happens again tonight and down the stretch. I see Wolde Harris there. Troy Lesane coming up through the College of Charleston and eventually joined the Battery a year after Wolde Harris left. So both of them in the soccer scene in South Carolina at the same time. Now both plying their trade in the USL Championship. Fernando Gonzalez in the corner sneaks it across. Romero tried to get there. Look how quickly New Mexico on the counter. Suggs.
Good transition defense there by Colorado. That was one of the keys, the transition game for New Mexico. Nice 1-2 there between Wien and Sandoval, but the numbers getting back for the Switchbacks.
Headed back across midfield under pressure almost immediately was Schweitzer. Back for Tony Soler, the other part of that Spanish duo. Actually started in the Villarreal youth system before heading over to the United States eventually for college. Suggs around Bone, takes the hit, but possession remains with United. Ball sent all the way across for Padilla, but couldn't bring it under control.
This is a, we thought would be a 4-4-2. It's really morphed into a 4-2-3-1 with Wien playing underneath Sandoval. But as we've seen, Santi Moar, Wien, Sandoval, Estrada, they have that movement, that freedom to move into space. Soler is going to be the link between the midfield and the attack, and Hamilton is going to drop back defensively.
More into the middle, slotted in to Wehan, into the area, gets on the receiving end. A collision with Gonzalez, and the ball almost spins in. Wehan saying he was clipped, but it's out for the corner.
Great build-up once again through the midfield for New Mexico. Sandoval laying it perfectly for Wien, but Wien's touch is a little too heavy, and that's why he doesn't score. If his touch is a little more delicate, a little softer touch, he's going to have a great opportunity to beat Rodriguez in goal. But the touch just a little too heavy there for Chris Wien, and then he missed his opportunity to score.
17-year-old goalkeeper getting a hot welcome to Isotopes Park. Into the middle, flies past the boot of Justin Schmidt. Rodriguez just 5'9". He needs help from his big men in front, and no one picking up Schmidt.
Set pieces, that was another key to the game, and Schmidt, even though he missed contact with the ball, he was open, unmarked, with an opportunity to get a shot on frame. So you figure next time the result will be more positive, the outcome will be more positive. But an encouraging sign that at least Schmidt was unmarked and that he had a chance to get a shot on target, just couldn't get the contact.
Jean back. Robinson long, a little too long.
Robinson is to Colorado what Wien is to New Mexico. He's the one that they have in the middle to be the playmaker, to try to set up chances for Romero and Rodriguez, or Gonzalez, excuse me.
Fernando Gonzalez. Back for Robinson. They'll swing it to the near side. Colorado Springs trying to build a rhythm of their own here. A little too much left on the table. No chance for Romero. Now with New Mexico pushing forward, maybe a chance Colorado Springs, but running right into a buzzsaw. Hamilton with the block. Moore scoops it across, almost to Sandoval, and headed backwards.
The ball is played over the top by Santi Moar, and the touch he uses with his right foot to settle it and get cut inside was absolutely magnificent. Those three, Moar, Wien, and Sandoval, they are a nuisance right now to the Colorado defense. We figure another goal is going to come between those three if they can continue to play with each other, make those right connection and passes, and into some space.
Through the back line, now up the right side. Burt looking for Gonzalez, into the middle for Schweitzer, and he's tripped up.
Good ball, little ball by Gonzalez into the path of Schweitzer. It's foul from behind. That's what's so important. Movement off the ball, running into space can create these set piece opportunities and put a defense under massive pressure.
Bone and Jome having a chat. Not sure what Bone is telling him. He hasn't scored yet this year, and meanwhile the right back, one of the leading scorers with 4. Or the left back make that. It looks like he's going to tee this one up. Again, no new rules yet in USL, still lined up in the wall. Now a collision right in front of the keeper, and they're going to, in the front of the referee, and they're going to have to wait.
Now, just off of that initial movement there before the whistle, doesn't look like Jaume is going to go on framing. It looks like he's just trying to lift it over the top here, try to get on that, provide a little short service to one of his teammates.
Does try and chip it in, flicked on, but not towards goal. Burt wishes he had another chance.
That's interesting. I thought from that angle and that distance that maybe it would be a shot directly on frame, but obviously something Colorado had been practicing on the training pitch.
And as you can see, there is some turf laid down. So always the possibility of a slip, but instead given right back. Romero couldn't win it. The Honduran gets a lucky roll. Robinson. Jaume. The Gambian up the line. Robinson trying to keep it in, but it crosses for the throw in.
And some good pressure there by Sam Hamilton.
Nearing the midway point of this opening half. See a lot of empty seats, but New Mexico United have been drawing well this year. This stadium holds a little over 13,000 since the renovation. They pretty much tore it down and rebuilt it back from the days of the old Albuquerque Dukes. And New Mexico United have been drawing a surprising amount of fans. But after a 2-hour delay for Lightning, I think some of them have decided to go home and watch us.
Take the party to the couch. But the real New Mexico United faithful have stayed here. And they were rewarded with a very early goal.
You can hear the drum beat still in the background. Jordan Burt, Butler Bulldog right in front of his boss, Woldy Harris. And it's been that kind of season.
Yeah, that's just unfortunate for Colorado. Tucker Bone coming back, making himself available, and then just a quick turnover. Colorado cannot afford to have New Mexico have most of the possession, because between Wehan, Santimoar, and Sandoval, they can slice up this defense.
Trying to drop it in, will it hold? Right on the sideline, and then losing his footing on that turf. David Estrada.
Basically the third base line there. That's a lost opportunity there for New Mexico. They had done well to get that ball up the pitch to Estrada into some space.
Rodriguez trying to get his defense pushed away. Right now, much of the play has been right in front of his net.
He slipped as well on that little kick.
Bending, but finally crosses the chalk. Sandoval challenging.
It's a good idea by Sandoval or Wehan or whomever in the attack of New Mexico.
Right in front of his own area, Cody Mizell.
After that play in the back there, it might be a good idea for both teams to put pressure on the goalkeepers when they have the ball at their feet. See how composed and poised they are when the ball at their feet.
Soler massaging his neck after that collision. Pass goes awry as he looks to find Estrada down the line. Cross. And now back up the other way. Jamal Jack, the Trinidadian. Argueta.
Mexico playing a little bit of high pressing here, putting some pressure high up the pitch here.
And stepping in, but quicker was Suggs. Spent last season with Colorado Springs, so special for the United left back. Getting a little vociferous, and Santi Moore is tempting fate.
Yep, he's got it. I figured it was coming the way he was speaking to the referee, we'll put it that way.
Now, in some ways, perhaps knowing that he was going to get a card. And that's, I tell, yellow issued to Santi Moore, the 26-year-old midfielder for New Mexico United. The hand up in the face of the Spaniard.
That's what he was upset about. He has a point. I mean, you can't have the hand in the face like that as a defender.
Meanwhile, Farhad trying to make sure this one doesn't boil over. Did give the yellow, but at the same point, lets Moore have his say.
He's still heated about it. Yep. Still heated. He knows that this Colorado defense is vulnerable. He knows that that back line can be exploited with the space they're giving up.
At the same point, he also has to know United's chances of victory much less if he gets a second yellow card.
Absolutely. They need him in this match. He has to play, or he has to calm down and just play soccer, because if he gets too heated again, as you mentioned, he gets sent off, and it's hard enough to win in this league when it's 11 on 11. It's even more difficult when it's 10.
Down the other way as the ball had crossed. Flicked on Sandoval, offside, right in front of the assistant. Kind of hard to disappear when the assistant referee is standing right behind you.
Lots of work they're trying to make some things happen down that right side of the attack for New Mexico United with Estrada. I'm a little surprised. I mean, I'm sure New Mexico United, they're used to playing on the turf there on that side, but Santi Moore out on the left, away from that turf, I think that's a little bit of a better option in terms of more play, more touches on the New Mexico attack, trying to play on the left side instead of the right.
Romero couldn't find the brakes, and right into the back of Manny Padilla. The kid out of Compton just getting decked, drawing the foul.
Straight out of Compton. You know he's tough.
In the corner, shepherded across by Jack. Quite a scene here at Isotopes Park. Could only imagine if it was a couple of hours earlier when it was supposed to kick off. But New Mexico does get the early goal in, and now trying to hold on to the reins.
Yeah, that's how you energize a crowd that's had to endure a weather delay. Get a goal early, and that's what they have done. They can give the crowd even more energy if they can get a second goal here.
Ball deflected wide. They will surrender the throw in. Romero and Gonzalez, the Honduran and the Mexican, the two key attackers for the Switchbacks They need to find a way to get them involved. The 22-year-old Gonzalez, coming out of Club America, actually played a couple of games before he elected to come to the States. Meanwhile, Cesar Romero, freshly brought in on loan from Honduran powerhouse Motagua, and an under-20 international. So the addition of those two, plus the young promising goalkeeper Abraham Rodriguez in the back, showing signs that Colorado Springs might be building for a brighter future, but they need the present to get a little brighter as well.
And Motagua, the reigning Honduran champions, winning both tournaments last season. Bit of a surprise because usually Olimpia and Marathon are the two big teams in Honduras. Motagua breaking through. But the future, if those three players can continue to develop, and if they stay with the club especially, and Colorado has a very strong base for next season to make a playoff run.
Gonzalez coming up a little worse for wear after that altercation. There's a lot of youth on this team. Jome on that left back spot, 24. Reeves on the back line, 23, as is Bone. A few veterans here or there, but here maybe a bit of a slip and a collision. And Romero has been playing bumper cars for the last few minutes, and now he goes in the book again, and that's Seitel yellow, issued to Colorado Springs number 9, Cesar Romero.
That he has no reason to look around and complain. That was a very clumsy challenge there. He slid studs up, both legs, or both feet up as well. That was clearly a yellow card. Right decision by Farhad Darjo to show him the yellow card.
Just over a half hour gone in this one. New Mexico United getting a stellar goal from Devin Sandoval to open the scoring. Still just a narrow lead, though.
And those wing backs pushing forward for New Mexico. Sam Hamilton is dropping back deep to be that third defender between Schmidt and Rashid Tete. Troy Lesesne has his team with the focus on the attack and getting the numbers forward. Essentially in possession, they playing with 3 in the back. When they have the ball and they have the possession in their attacking half.
Good look at Troy Lesesne. Babyface, but he's been doing this for a while, or at least as an assistant and under former MLS and national team assistant. MLS head coach Mike Jeffries. He's earned his stripes and now finally has his first head coaching job. Laid off far side by Jome. Ball curls around off the post on the doorstep. They hit the other post. Gonzalez with the goal at his mercy couldn't capitalize on the rebound.
Colorado getting some numbers forward. Robinson had that great chance. That would have been a brilliant goal if he had been able to get it over the line into the back of the net. And Gonzalez, he actually does well to get his footwork right so that he can strike it, but he went wide with the shot, or off the post. Lucky for New Mexico United's defense.
Robinson tripped up there, no foul. Referee had a good view. Slotted near side, and cutting in is Moore. Wide for Estrada, who's now wide on the left. Suggs against his old team. We'll show you those highlights in just a moment, but hitting both posts in quick succession. That close to an equalizer. Strange hop on the infield turf.
Jome made the run but didn't get the ball back, and then It's back to Robinson. What a brilliant hit there off the post. And he actually, look what he does. He settles his feet. He gets his feet right. Look at, step back. I mean, everything is there. He does well to get his footwork right, but just hit it wide.
Now looking for a second the other way. Moore trying to get through Burt. Contact inside. Moore with Bone and the bump on the back. Suggs calling for a penalty, but he's not going to get it. And now a collision in the midfield, and this one will draw a whistle. And another Seitel yellow card. That one issued to New Mexico United Sam Hamilton.
That is a yellow card as well.
Stopping the break any way you can.
Absolutely. Hamilton, or I should say Robinson, swerve of the hips. He's going to get around Hamilton. And then he makes the contact. I think that's a good professional foul there on Sam Hamilton to prevent that break from causing further damage, or at least getting further up the pitch and possibly threatening the New Mexico United defense that was in transition.
Ball flipped up, but intercepted. New Mexico United gobbling up a miscue from the Switchbacks. Schmidt, Moore. Everything seems to go through the Spaniard. Burt the other way, a little deflection, giving Chase Gonzalez.
I think they need to get Santi Moar more involved, because down the left side, what we've seen players have issues with the footing on the infield, the baseball infield that's been covered up on the right side of the New Mexico United attack. No such issues on the left side of the attack with Santi Moar, so that might be a better course of action in terms of getting a second goal, trying to get Moar involved, have the attack built from the left side.
Won't be easy regardless for Colorado Springs. 11 games here at the Lab, as they like to call it, just 2 defeats. That's a good way to stay in playoff contention. Ball curled in. Sandoval with what appeared to be a push. Referee says play on. Suggs lays it off. Wehan. Now Moore looking for glory, but finding the stands.
Couldn't keep that shot down, but Sandoval was engaged with Jamal Jack in that defense. That service came in from the right side from Estrada. So little matchup there to watch for those two center backs dealing with Sandoval by himself up top.
So there, lays it off and then heads upfield.
Suggs asking for it on the overlap there. Santi Moar controlling it.
So there again. Driving on Jaume. Surrounded by white shirts. Trying to get it back, but trying a little too hard.
Yeah, so Led does well to get inside. He had Wien there to his left, just outside the top, just at the top of the penalty area. Held the ball a little bit too long, and then 3 switchback defenders collapsing on him. And that's what New Mexico will have to do a better job of here. It's just quick passes when they get in and around the penalty area.
Like a little slip from Reeves, but he gets it across midfield. Unfortunately, with the Switchbacks right to another black jersey. Tete pushing it up the line. Back for Padilla. Tete stepping up to prevent the break, but picked up in the midfield by Romero. Here's Bone. Soft touch. A little bit harder on the contact to Burt.
Colorado putting some pressure on New Mexico here. Both teams pretty intense with their pressure in the midfield in this first half. Let's see how much longer it can be sustained in the second half. Usually after about 15 minutes into the second half, that's when the tired legs come in. You don't put as much pressure. The intensity of the pressing isn't as much in the midfield. And you get some more wide open soccer, more goal scoring chances. I suspect that will be the case in the second half.
Last one was curled in, looking for a head. This one a little further out, probably see more of the same. Jamal Jack trying to spin his way in. Looking for the big man, headed across, but off target, and it wouldn't have counted anyway.
You know, both times from basically the same spot. He ran the same play and did not yield the goal. Did not even yield a shot on target. I think from that vantage, from that part of the field, they have to just go directly on goal, force Cody Mizell into a save.
4 minutes left in regulation for this opening half.
Schweitzer physical there in that midfield for Colorado Springs.
Hamilton plays it across. A few flurries here for the Switchbacks. Maybe a bit unfortunate on those back-to-back posts. New Mexico United caught by the flag.
And Josh Suggs, the left back, he's been bursting forward there, just trying to get in behind that defense. Probably expected the ball to come in sooner, which is why he made that run going forward. But when the pass got held up, he was offside.
And Rodriguez taking his time getting this one back in play. 17 years of age. Just 5'9" also. More of a Nick Raimondo or Jorge Campos than Thibaut Courtois. A little less flashy, but
small, quick reflexes, shot-stopping type goalkeeper.
Quick feet. Hamilton across. Schmidt. Back from Suggs.
Good patient build up here from New Mexico.
Something we haven't really talked about. We talked about it from a fan's perspective. But for these players as well, they had been prepared to start this match 2 hours earlier. Should be back in their hotel rooms right about now. Now, Suggs slots it to the front line, dished in, and a kick save by Rodriguez to deny. Still loose for Sandoval, and it whistles wide.
What a save by Abraham Rodriguez, but how about the patience of New Mexico United? The build-up in that attack. That pass, though. Suggs in the middle, and then eventually Weehan with the chance, and then Rodriguez with the save. That pass there by Estrada is absolutely fantastic.
And credit as well, because I think the shot from Weehan, good enough for a goal, but Abraham Rodriguez made himself big, and that would be a save I think Jorge Campos would be proud of.
Absolutely. Brilliant save there by Abraham Rodriguez, but how about the build-up there by New Mexico? It was at least 20, 25 passes before that shot by Weehan to test Rodriguez. It was a slow, patient build-up by New Mexico United. Well done by them. Just didn't lead to a goal.
For all that, they still only lead by 1. Margueta holding on. Reeves but on the wrong side of Romero.
That sequence by New Mexico United shows that they have the ability between Moat and Weehan, and then Estrada with the touch, and then Sandoval ultimately with the last shot. They have that ability to gradually hold the possession, string together 10, 12 passes, and make something happen.
Stolen away, Romero, the Honduran into the area, left foot blocked, right foot across, and a stave by Cody Mizell to preserve the lead.
Romero just uses his body and strength to win the ball. A little bit lax in the back. Great work to dispossess Schmidt, and then one with the left, one with the right.
Second one, I think, just trying to get it in the 6 and hope something happened. Chance now for the corner, swept across. Bone trying to convert on that Crown Plaza Albuquerque corner. But that's going to do it for the opening half. 8 minutes in, Devin Sandoval's goal, the lone tally of the opening half, and New Mexico with a 1-0 lead at the break.
Yeah, well done by New Mexico United to get that goal, but the spaces are opening up that Colorado defense. They have a chance to get another goal or two in the second half.
Stay with us, highlights and more coming up. 1-0 for New Mexico United. Welcome back. Isotopes Park, Taco Cabana's halftime show. Take a look at some of the best of what's been going on in the USL Championship.
Solomon Asante does it again. Mr. Reliable from the spot. Asante does it again.
As just puts it into the back of the net.
Sam DaCosta.
The attempt at an amazing goal. Or maybe a goal of the year candidate from Rodrigo DaCosta.
This side as well.
It's a good point. Let's wait and see if they do.
As Kamara absolutely flies past Tete for pace. Here's Kamara. And a brilliant save from Cody Mizell. Mohamed Kamara is causing problems.
Mikey Rowe now. Rowe takes it on and it's in! What a strike! And Tormenta, they strike first! Ontivero. Silva will have a hit! Oh, good save by Majimadu.
Hilton goes charging through, has to go! And what a strike it is from...
Oh, that's sensational. Oh, what a strike. Kadima! Saved by Bettleson. They hardly left it fly. More on the save.
Well, will there be any more heroics? Sandoval's goal, not bad. Maybe we'll see that on a future highlight block. 1-0 the score. Have a feeling it's not going to be the only goal of this one. Take a look at some of the other things that have been going on around the USL Championship as we highlight the news and notes. And there, Phoenix Rising 3-0 to the good over the Galaxy 2 as the good times continue to roll. And if you thought things were impressive before, they just keep getting better.
Absolutely. Solomon Asante is the league MVP, and it's not even close. He is going to be probably win the Golden Boot as well. Now Phoenix Rising already qualified for the playoffs. Now can they get it done in the playoffs? That's been a problem for them the last couple of seasons. Is this the year that they finally win the championship?
I'm trying to figure out how many of those Culture Collection jerseys you already have.
Oh,
I think you're about
man.
15 or 16 now.
I think so, because they all look pretty sweet. Yeah, they all look real sweet. Yeah.
More action coming up on Wednesday, including an ESPN3 showdown between St. Louis and the New York Red Bulls 2. Here's the way things look out west. And again, Phoenix has just been phenomenal. Fresno, pretty good, and Reno as well, impressive. Then you get things a bit interesting. From 4th through 13th coming in, just 6 points separating, and only the top 10 will go to the postseason.
That means it's going to come down to the last 2 games of the season to decide the playoff positioning from 3rd place to 10th place. So there is a lot of soccer left, and these teams need to make a run here of 3 or 4 straight wins, or at least a run where they get a lot of points in order to solidify their place in the playoffs. It's going to be a great finish in the West.
Here's some of the other action that's going to be popping up on Wednesday. Hartford will be taking on Birmingham, El Paso against Fresno, and that St. Louis Red Bulls game should be a doozy.
Yeah,
all of that in the USL Championship on Wednesday night.
Yeah, New York Red Bulls 2, top seed in the East, St. Louis. They are a very dangerous team. Look out for St. Louis. If they get into the playoffs, it wouldn't surprise me if they make it to the conference finals. They have that kind of squad. So St. Louis and New York Red Bulls 2, that should be a great win. And El Paso, Fresno in the West should be a lot of fun as well.
Beautiful looks at Isotope Park, and things bouncing around in the first half. Enough for United to hold on to the lead, 1-0, but another 45 minutes. And can the Switchbacks turn it around? The original Taco Cabana halftime show continues. And welcome back. New Mexico, Albuquerque, the place. United against the Switchbacks, the game. 1-0 for the hosts at the half. And let's take a look at our Taco Cabana highlights on the halftime show. And taking a look at what we saw, it was pretty much all United, but maybe the best chances coming for the Switchbacks in the other direction.
Yeah, this is an opportunity here for Colorado as Tucker Bone gets sent through beautifully here by Jordan Burr. Well weighted pass there. Tried to roof the shot. Probably would have done better to go far post, keep it on the ground. But sails over the goal of Cody Mizell. And then how about the goal here? Devin Sandoval off the rebound. Strikes it sweetly off the post. Nothing Gonzalez could do about it. This would kind of be a theme where New Mexico United having a lot of the possession, able to build and cut through that Colorado midfield and then take their opportunities. Sandoval with a brilliant finish.
Another chance. Keep an eye here on the nice little give and go. Meehan into the area, but a stellar stop by the teenager Rodriguez.
It's a great 1-2 between Sandoval and Weehan, but Weehan, his first touch is too heavy. If he takes a little bit off of that first touch, he can chip it over Rodriguez, and we're looking at 2-0. And then off the post twice. First great chance by Saeed Robinson trying to bend it here. And it's off the post, beats Mizell. And then Rodriguez, or Gonzalez, gets his footwork right, but he hits it off the post. And this is brilliant. The ball here by Estrada through to Weehan is excellent. And then Sandoval, he scored once from that distance. Almost got his second one there. And then Romero, the Honduran on loan from Otagua. One chance with the left foot deflected, right foot is kept out by Mizell. Both teams, they could easily be a 2-2 game after the first 45 minutes.
As you see, 11 shots so far, just the one goal to this point. Now, of concern, 4 offside. Now, all it takes is the flag to stay down once, and you have a goal-scoring chance. So maybe a bit more discipline on the runs by United, but for the Switchbacks, they had a chance to tie this game. They had chances to be in the lead, and there's still another half to go.
Yeah, absolutely. New Mexico United with that 64% possession. That's going to work in their favor in the second half because they are generating chances. But if they give up the ball on a counterattack or lose the ball in transition, Colorado's shown that they can threaten the goal of Cody Mizell, get an equalizer. So it's going to be interesting to see how New Mexico tweak things defensively for the second half.
And again, to this point, they've been chasing the game. Can they get a bit of control? Here's how United go into their stretch run. And as you mentioned, look at that. 4 of the final 5 at home.
Yeah, you're talking about of those 4 home games, they have to get 12 points. And if they can get a draw at Tulsa, out of the 15 possible points there, 13, that will secure them a spot in the playoffs. But they have to win every single game. And why not take down Phoenix at home? I mean, Phoenix is the best team in the league. Why not end their win streak there at home and give them the victory that could send them into the playoffs?
Colorado Springs, meanwhile, at this point playing out the string. Although you never know, 15 points and including 18 if they can come back here today. They will have 3 of their remaining 5 away from home, but winnable games against Las Vegas and Galaxy too.
Absolutely, and they could throw a wrench into El Paso's playoff run as well if they could pick up the victory against El Paso. So that's going to be very interesting to see what happens with Colorado Springs. They could play spoiler in a couple of teams' playoff runs.
Substitutes heading back towards the benches. Starters making their way out. Second half about ready to get started.
For New Mexico coming into the second half, they don't have to change too much from what they did in the first half. They've had the majority of the possession. They have the goal. The way that Moat and Weehan and Sandoval and even Estrada was playing out wide on the right, but he started to pinch more into the middle. Those 4, if they can continue to work that magic, be aggressive, run in the space, be direct, they can get a second goal on Colorado and secure the 3 points. They just have to finish their chances. That's the big issue for them heading into the second half, finishing their chances. You have all that possession, you have more shots, you got to put one or two over the line into the back of the net.
Well, we already had the 2-hour delay for Lightning, a little bit delayed to get the second half underway, but again, full credit to the players. We were alluding to that earlier. They had to be ready and then cool off. Get ready and cool off. So finally out there. By the way, good look at Wolde Harris. Looks like he could still play.
Yeah, he's in great shape. Yeah. Maybe he's running the practice drills with the team.
28 caps, 7 goals for the Reggae Boys in his younger days. I think pretty good ref game as well by Farhad Dadko. There were a couple of times this one could have boiled over.
Absolutely. Gave out 3 yellow cards in the game. All 3 were well deserved.
Second half underway. Don't see any changes to the lineups for the hosts leading at the half. New Mexico United, Mizell in goal. Down on the other end, Padilla, Schmidt, Tete, and Suggs the back line. Moore and Soler in the midfield. Estrada and Hamilton, Wehan and Sandoval in the attack. Meanwhile, for the Switchbacks, it's the youngster Rodriguez, protected by Burt, Reeves, Jack, and Jome. Bone and Robinson, Schweitzer and Argueta in the midfield with Romero and Gonzalez. And those two up front, there's something about to happen almost every time they touch the ball. And if they can find a way to convert, the end of this season might be a very happy one for Colorado Springs. Sandoval, maybe a little afters, but another yellow card.
And remember in the first half, Romero had an opportunity. He burst down that left side, got in behind the defense, squared it into the middle, but there was no one there to put it over the line into the back of the net. Gonzalez was in the area. Gonzalez didn't run to attack the ball in the 6, and Robinson was waiting for a pullback in the penalty spot. So Romero had an opportunity, and then Gonzalez had that shot off the post. So those two.
Ball falls for Sandoval, and he tucks it in just like that on the sloppy play in the midfield. Direct to goal, and Sandoval with his second.
And that is how you answer a yellow card with a goal. But a massive mistake in the back for Colorado. Misjudged there. Christopher Reeves misjudged the pass. Played up the pitch by Estrada. And Sandoval one-on-one. And look at that, right in between the legs of the youngster with the outside of the right foot, a la Luis Suarez. And a brace for Devin Sandoval.
Need to take another look at the replay if we can. That United goal brought to you by Delta Dental of New Mexico. Teeth mean business, and Sandoval with a brace. That was a tooth. Never mind.
Braces, yeah. Oh, okay. I got you.
Ball up across midfield, and now Cesar Romero perhaps with a bit more purpose. The young Honduran drawing 2 defenders, but it's kept in play.
Well, Sandoval has braces, back-to-back braces. So my brain is on the weather delay too. So
it was Padilla as well who curled it in, and as you mentioned, Reeves thought he had it, and somehow it just snuck through.
Either he misjudged it, or maybe it took a bounce that he wasn't expecting. Whatever the case, Christopher Reeves making a big mistake.
And Abraham Rodriguez tried his best, but left helpless. And Sandoval clinically finishes.
It was a great finish by Sandoval, outside of the right foot, in between the legs of the kid, in between the sticks for Colorado. And now we'll see New Mexico United, their killer instinct here to get a goal or 2 more and really put it away.
50th goal of the season for United. Twice as many as the Switchbacks. And they might not be done
seen it time and time again. A team that has a 2-0 advantage, feeling like they can be comfortable, and then the opposition comes back and gets a goal or gets a second goal to equalize and split the point. So
I understand what you're saying, but it always feels strange to say a 2-0 lead is the most dangerous lead in soccer, because if you ask any coach, he'd rather be on the 2 side than the 0 side.
Absolutely, that's for sure. And I think any coach would also say, let's not let up. Don't get conservative now that you have the 2-0 advantage. Do everything you did to get those 2 goals so you can get a 3rd and a 4th one. So don't let up.
All across between the 2 big center backs, Reeves and Jack. Sandoval again. Maybe the goals haven't come throughout his career, but he's always put in the effort. One reason he's always been a fan favorite. Into the path of Weehan, decked on the break, and the whistle blows. Another card, this one against the Switchbacks.
I believe this is Reeves again making a mistake in the back.
And it was. Big man out of Portland.
He certainly hasn't been Superman in the back, that's for sure, Christopher Reeves, but they're Colorado pushing forward. They're trying to chase the game. They're leaving those back line defenders. They're leaving them exposed. Weehan is now starting to figure out the space and teetering on that line. We saw Sandoval take advantage of the mistake. So this could play into New Mexico United's hands even more so, the fact that Colorado is starting to push men forward and leaving too much space in the back.
New Mexico in his roots. Looking to plant this one inside the 18. Drives it right into the chest. Got all of it, but sent it right to Rodriguez.
Gotta like the confidence, the bold decision there by Weehan to send it on to frame from that distance.
5 yellow cards so far in the game. 2 in the opening 5 minutes of the second half. Swept away from Robinson, and here comes United on the break. Flying into the area, Moore collides in the back with Schweitzer. Again, down on the turf with no whistle. Running towards second base from third, and trips over the bag.
He's got to give the ball to Tucker Bones sooner. Run at that defense. Bone was there in the space in the middle. Could have played the 1-2 down that right side quickly. Decided to take it himself, and as you mentioned, tripped over the second base bag there.
2 goals to his name. Is there a hat trick in the cards?
This is some good soccer here by New Mexico United. So a great chance right before the end of the first half where they put together, but it must have been 20, 25 passes. Good patient build up. Waited for that space to open up. And led to Estrada sending through Weehan, so could they do that again?
4 goals through June for Sandoval, then held out off the score sheet for 3 months. Now 4 goals in 2 games, and he might not be done.
We had a weather delay, so these cliches might be appropriate. When it rains, it pours. It's raining goals for Devin Sandoval, and it's the right time for Devin Sandoval to be scoring goals, with New Mexico trying to make a playoff push. Possibly even get into the top 6.
Ball through, settled on the turn. Weehan to the middle, gets a second crack. Almost lost his footing and staying with them all the way. Good work by Ismaila Jome, but still United ball. Hamilton all the way across. And that one kisses off the flag and out for the throw.
Looks like Jamal Jack goes to clear the ball, doesn't get enough contact on it, and essentially passes it to Wean. Luckily for Jamal Jack, the rest of his defensive backline teammates were there to prevent a shot on target. And New Mexico United just looking more and more dangerous.
Ball up the middle, trying to lift it up, but Estrada denied by the 5'9" Rodriguez.
How about Estrada here? In the beginning, or the first few minutes of the match, he's out wide on the right, but I would say after about the 30th minute in the first half, he's been more central, trying to maybe give some space for Padilla to push forward.
Collision, but it's Sandoval, and nope, the flag does come up on this near side from Matthew Rodman.
That looked like an American football tackle there by Reeves on Sandoval. Reeves has to be careful. Just picked up a card, what, about 5 minutes ago?
Moore, Hamilton, Sandoval, all with cautions for United. Romero and Reeves carrying the plastic for the switchbacks. One of the best ways for Colorado Springs to get back in this game is to get a man advantage.
Yep.
With that in mind, you wonder whether Lassane might be thinking substitution.
Figure Sandoval has the yellow card, 2 goals already.
Plus also the fact if he does get another, he'd miss the next game too.
Yep.
Mexico after this with 2 huge home games against Reno and Phoenix.
Figure maybe Sandoval comes off, you bring on maybe not a center forward, but an attacking player, push Wehan up to the point. Jack. Decision will be a lot easier if they can get a 3rd goal.
Double teamed, but again Sandoval sweeps in. Good team defense with Moore. Wehan from about 30. Keeps it moving. Estrada over to the right. Padilla needed to do better, but will they get the corner kick? And again, doing the hard work that doesn't show up in the score sheet. Now Crown Plaza Albuquerque corner kick as we approach the hour mark.
Santi Moar, the way he was able to just easily dispossess the defense for Colorado Springs. Create a chance here for New Mexico United. They have to pin Colorado in their attacking half.
Ball punched away. Rodriguez takes the hit. A swing and a miss on the rebound by Moore. And Tucker Bone trying to win it back, but too many black shirts swirling.
Estrada all the way on the left.
Kept in, but no, the flag. Big thanks to all of you who have stuck with us with that delay. Some maybe deciding to watch this one in the morning with a nice rest in front. Getting kind of late even out on the West Coast for those of you who are sticking around. Rodriguez.
If you get a couple more goals, it'd be worth the wait.
might be coming. Rodriguez has been busy. Well, maybe not as busy as he was. He debuted for the Switchbacks against Phoenix back in March. 11 saves, including a penalty. Shot from distance, but wide of Meisel's net.
And Romero with the opportunity there, but Colorado putting some pressure on the midfield, dispossessing Hamilton. Soler was being harassed in the midfield as well. And that might be the best way for Colorado to get back in this game. They might have to just put some pressure, press in the midfield, try to get a turnover deep in their attacking half, and then run at this New Mexico United defense. Because it doesn't look like they're going to give up. New Mexico is not going to give up that much possession. So they have to force a turnover, quickly burst into transition and get a shot, because New Mexico right now is controlling the possession and the pace and tempo of this game.
They've already beaten Colorado Springs twice this season. Have not lost a game in which they've scored first, but can they put this one to bed to the point where Troy Lesesne can wrap a few players up in cotton wool thinking ahead of the next two games? Or can Colorado Springs find a way to get that one inside the post? Matilla out wide, Estrada back. Soler. Nice by Hamilton, but a short field, unable to bring it down.
Mexico putting together a nice sequence of passes. Santimora just a little too heavy on that first touch. It's a great ball by Hamilton, though.
Looks like another substitution, actually our first REDW CPA and advisors substitution. No substitution for integrity, but there is for the Switchbacks.
There is no substitution for integrity. REDW CPAs and advisors.
Kwesi Donsu.
See what the Ghanaian can add to the attack. There you see him scampering back in towards the center circle. 23 years of age in his first season.
Not much in terms of formation change with Donsu coming in. Play up top with Gonzalez.
Part of that, probably fitness. Another part, the yellow card.
Yep.
Fresh legs now in the Ghanaian. Into the top of the 18. And Rodriguez gets there in time.
The switching between Wehan, Estrada, and Sandoval in the second half here. Try to getting into that space behind the Colorado defense.
Soler. Space starting to open up. Across Wehan, guiding traffic by the cross, and the header flashes wide, but collision in the process, and there would have been a foul anyway. Jordan Schweitzer getting the brunt of that collision.
It's Colorado once again winning the ball in the midfield. Oof. Sandoval going for the Neymar to get his hat trick. Neymar won game winner for PSG today. That's what.
Still not sure he convinced the fans.
Yeah. He's got to score a couple of more of those goals in the Champions League. That's what it is.
Nods it down into the 18 in the spin. Meisel almost overrunning it, but catching it at the high point.
Mexico, they have been able to consistently build through the midfield, maintain possession.
Sandoval challenging again. Schweitzer spins away from the challenge. Backward landing, but it works. Hamilton across midfield. Into space. Estrada puts the brakes on and brings it back. Again, a 2-goal lead gives them the luxury.
And he looked up, saw that Weehan was actually marked by both Reeves and Jamal Jack. Hold it back, maintain the possession. Continue to frustrate that Colorado Springs Switchbacks midfield and defense.
Hamilton finds a pocket. Forward for Weehan. The ex-Earthquake dishes wide for more.
See, New Mexico, they want to play quick one-touch football. You don't see one player holding the ball for too long. They get it quickly, try to play it in the space, play it to the open man.
Inside, glancing header, and he caps it off with the goal of the night. The first hat trick of his career, and what a goal to do it.
Oh, this is brilliant, brilliant soccer, well-timed run. But how about the service as well by Padilla? Looks up, Sandoval does brilliantly to get inside of Jamal Jack, and then the header is unstoppable.
Ad United goal brought to you by Dental Health, Delta Dental of New Mexico. Teeth mean business, and you can tell Sandoval does.
I think it's safe to say that he is the prime candidate for the USL Championship Player of the Week with this performance. But it was once again a situation where New Mexico held the ball, built the attack, 15, 20 passes, and then Padilla, unmarked, nobody to step up, put pressure on his service, and he placed it beautifully.
Meanwhile, as you see, another REDW substitution. REDW, CPA, and advisors. No substitution for integrity. And another one coming in for New Mexico, but for Colorado Springs, doing in. Looks like Schweitzer out.
Substitution brought to you by REDW.
Meanwhile, Andy Bruce about ready to step in, and he will. For Santi Moore, and again with that yellow card, and now a 3-goal lead, no need to risk it.
Absolutely, and Colorado Springs, especially in this second half, they haven't really threatened Cody Mizell in goal.
Another REDW, CPA, and advisors substitution. No substitution for integrity, and no substitution for defense either.
122.
There you heard over 12,000. Many of them sticking around despite the delay and getting a good night of soccer in.
I knew that Colorado's defense coming into this match was vulnerable, but you still have to finish your chances, and Devin Sandoval has finished his chances. And New Mexico's passing, their movement, quick one-touch, trying to get players into space. Players quickly to get rid of the ball to their teammates. It's been a brilliant performance by New Mexico United, the whole team, from the back line to the forward, Sandoval. Scoreline holds up and they can especially get a clean sheet. I'm sure the same one will have a lot of positive things, a lot to be happy about when they review the film of this matchup.
You mentioned the fact that that finale for New Mexico United might be a special one. Ball rolls back to Rodriguez, who is getting a baptism of fire tonight. It's only fitting with all the lightning in the area. Up next, Reno, then Phoenix. Ball whacked away by Schmidt. And Rio Grande, if we're on the road against Tulsa, and they will close out the regular season at home with Tacoma, and then October 19th against the Las Vegas Lights. And reading an interview with Troy Lessane's mom when he was named the coach, and she pointed out that when he was growing up, he's always a soccer nut and had posters all over his room, including perhaps the prized possession, a poster of Eric Winalda.
Oh, the Las Vegas Lights manager.
In fact, former teammates later on when they were both with Charleston, but that could make for an interesting finale if it's a must-win game. Flicked into the middle for Soler.
What, 5 of their last 6 games of the season here at Isotopes Park? It's set up for them to qualify for the playoffs, but also improve their standing in the playoffs. Not just maybe the 9th or 10th seed, but possibly a top 5 position as well. If they can get 4 points at home. That certainly would be a great storyline there. Troy Lessane and Eric Winalda in the season finale.
Quietly having a good game, although not so quietly as the stadium shouting on that last pass for the last goal by Sandoval.
New Mexico United get a soccer-specific stadium with capacity of about 15-20. With this crowd, with this energy, with this team, the way they play, they could be unstoppable at home here in Albuquerque.
Just a sign of the growing influence of this sport throughout the country. In fact, I was talking to Lessane about his Charleston roots, and I remember Battery Park, and maybe on a miniature level, the emotion that was there when he was growing up. And he actually said it was later on when he went to Charlotte and played a road game in Cincinnati and saw what that was like. And he says that here in Albuquerque, baseball country, soccer also making inroads. Up the middle comes Jack, Trinidadian into the path of the Jamaican, and now Robinson to the area. Gets past 3, but not past Sam Hamilton.
There certainly is an opportunity for soccer. You mentioned it's baseball country, but there is an opportunity here because there isn't a professional American football team or professional basketball team. There is inroads here for this to become a soccer town.
Nodded forward. Maybe a chance for another goal by Suggs, but then ridden down at the edge of the 6. And maybe a sympathy swallow of the whistle.
That one is close because I don't see Jamal Jack going for the ball.
Danny Bruce just got leveled.
Yeah.
Headed away by Schmidt, still in play. Take another look as they might have had a chance from the spot, but maybe from behind wasn't exactly shoulder to shoulder, and I think the Switchbacks got lucky there.
Yeah, I think so, because Jamal Jack doesn't even make a play for the ball. Just goes right into the body there and knocks over Daniel Bruce. Should be, in my view, that's a penalty.
Rodriguez sends it long. Minutes and change left to go. Colorado Springs looking for some consolation before this one is over. And again, you think what might have been, had those back-to-back chances hitting the post within seconds. Another substitution brought to you by REDW, CPA and Advisors. No substitution for integrity. The crowd showing its support. Josh Suggs is out. Austin Yearwood is in.
There is no substitution for integrity. REDW, CPAs and Advisors.
Zamir, does that name Austin Yearwood sound like a country western singer?
I was going to say that.
Country singer, yeah.
I don't know if he's any relation to Trisha.
Yeah.
25 years of age from Charlotte, so that's close to country.
Yeah.
Country. Tripling through, looking for the chance on goal, pulling it back. Gonzalez lays it off, doing shot deflected, just up and over.
Fans head to the New Mexico United Twitter page to cast your vote for
This
the
is just
star of the match.
chaos in the area here for Colorado. New Mexico desperate defending. Austin the wing is the one that was dancing with the ball at his feet, trying to create a chance.
Another corner kick brought to you by Crown Plaza Albuquerque, and we'll have to wait until the referee is ready. Swinger clips off the head of Hamilton. They'll move over and try it again.
I like Cody Mizell there. Cody Mizell appreciating Hamilton's clearance there.
Into the middle, deflects around and unable to convert. Jordan Burt put it in, and it rattles off the back. They'll swing to the near side and try it again. Another Crown Plaza Albuquerque corner.
And that wasn't the cleanest of defending there by Austin Yearwood. But the ball didn't go over the line into the back of the net, so it worked.
Out swinger to the spot, headed down, and it bounds home. Past Mizell, the shutout is over. But has the comeback begun? And it looks like somehow Jordan Burt does it again. The right back, the leading scorer for Colorado Springs, his 7th of the season.
One of the keys to the game in the beginning was set pieces and how New Mexico would deal with the set pieces as the aggressive side, as the attacking team, but also how they would deal with it defensively, and they did not do a good job there. Burt flying in unmarked with his Magnum PI mustache and scoring an important goal. And how about that? You're right back with 7 goals on the season. That is impressive.
Don't forget to head to New Mexico United's Twitter page. Cast your vote on the Star Brothers Brewing Company Star of the Match. Twitter.com/New Mexico UTD. We'll announce the winner at the end of the game. Plenty of great performances here tonight, but only one star turn, I would imagine. Burt. They're not giving up yet. He's doing switches. Jome. Down being off the thigh, loose. Still forward for Robinson. Can't get the shot away. Interesting technique to get that one in, and it spins back to the Switchbacks. Hangs in the air. Thought about coming out Mizell. And he gets some help from his defense, but maybe they've turned the heat down a little too much. Low and wide. Robinson a little hopeful.
Mizell made the one providing the services down the left side there. Obviously knows how to bend them, taking corners as well. Burt had another chance there to get inside. Now Colorado got your two wingbacks pushing forward, getting deep into the attacking third to aid in the attack. That leaves them vulnerable in the back. A lot of space, and New Mexico can take advantage of if they can get that turnover.
Mexico making another switch, brought to you by REDW, CPA and Advisors. Devin Sandoval will exit. Frater in, and there's no substitution for integrity, but there is for the hat-trick hero. So the Jamaican Frater in, looking to add his name to the score sheet.
Here's the scary part if you're Colorado's defense. Devin Sandoval has a hat trick, and off the bench, bring one of the top 5 goal scorers in the league in Devon Frater.
14 goals this season. Jamaica under 23 international. Coming out of Harborview. Actually played for the Switchbacks on loan a couple of seasons ago, so something to prove. Nice quick thinking into the 18, but Bruhan forced to retreat.
Frater's straight position swap there, so he maintained that the 4-2-3-1. We'll see how Frater does in terms of his movements with Weehan and Estrada.
Over the shoulder, chance for Frater. Kevon Frater battling for it. Reeves just shrugs him off. 6'2", 23-year-old. Wasn't a stellar game, but you can see the potential. FC Dallas product. Here comes Gonzalez again into the area, but wide of the target, doing back heel, walking the goal line, the drop, but well covered. Hamilton pushes it out, and another Crown Plaza Albuquerque corner.
Doing has been very dangerous since he's come on here. That was well done. The through ball to Doing on that right side was excellent, and then that little touch and connection with Robinson in the area. Mexico, they got to tighten things up defensively here.
Crossed arm signaling the short corner, gets on side again, spins it in. Loose at the back post. Did it hit a hand? No, says the referee. Well off his line, Rodriguez, as New Mexico has bunkered. Nice from Frater. The give and go, one man to beat. Schweitzer on the hop. Puts his body in front and draws the foul.
Yeah, smart play by Schweitzer. He's one-on-one with Frater. Ball bouncing in a different direction. He had to engage Frater to make sure he didn't get to it. Drew the foul. Smart play there by Jordan Schweitzer.
Former Canadian Youth International.
Mexico forced to bunker down here because of the goal and because Switchbacks now getting much more possession here.
Nice from Argueta. Doing to the middle. Lunging tackle by Tete, and it's rolling this bringback or the Switchbacks way. Bounces up, flicked over near side. Ismaila Jome will let it run. And another corner kick for Colorado Springs, brought to you by Crown Plaza Albuquerque. to his line, Mizell. Deflected away. Hustling over, Saeed Robinson. Back into the mix, but off the deflection. Headed towards goal by Argueta before it's cleared. Again, with a tight space. Even throw-ins are dangerous in the middle of the area. 5 minutes left in regulation.
Oh.
Nice touch, Frater, but he couldn't keep it in.
Oh, that would have been brilliant if Frater had been able to keep it in. He would have gotten around Schweitzer. It would have been him and Gonzalez or Rodriguez one-on-one.
Talked about the decision to sit Frater, maybe to keep him fresh for Reno and Phoenix, but what it also did was allow Devin Sandoval to build up some confidence, and the team as well.
Now there's a question for Troy Lesesne going into that next match against Reno. Who do you start? Do you start Devon Frater, who is one of the top goal scorers in the league, or do you start Devin Sandoval, who has 5 goals in his last 2 games? He's the hottest striker right now, so it's a question for Troy Lesesne ahead of that next match.
Argueta helping Padilla to his feet. Of course, he could still go with Sandoval and then perhaps have a fresh and hungry Frater for Phoenix.
Absolutely. I think even Devon Frater has to say, okay, I'm on the bench. Well, we're winning games, and Sandoval is lighting it up right now. Could be the super sub for now.
Kind of hard to argue with 5 goals in 2 games.
Yeah.
Padilla trying to read the bounce was Estrada. Now Frater drags down that sideline, but touched away by Reeves. It's like final substitution for Colorado Springs.
Substitution brought to you by
It will be
REW, entering the game for Colorado
Seth
Springs,
in
number 10, Mike Seth.
and Reeves out. So a bit of a roll of the dice. REDW, CPA and advisors. No substitution for integrity. Meanwhile, Frater, the substitute, is down in pain. Take another look at how it happened. Ooh. Into the body, into the back, into the neck.
Yep. He took a triple shot right there.
Mike Seth, the substitute, coming in. 31 years of age, out of Pittsburgh. Spent some time with the Riverhounds in his second stint with the Switchbacks. That collision does bring out the yellow card. Sitel yellow issued to Colorado Springs number 3, Ismaila Jome.
And now with Mike Seth coming in, I wonder if they still play a 4-man back line, if maybe Schweitzer drops back into the defense, that back line, and then Seth moving up as another attacker. We'll see.
From Saeed. Wanted it back into the middle for Jordan Bird, who's moved into the attack. So they've pulled one defender and pushed the other fullback into the attack almost. There's in many ways at this stage, doesn't matter if you lose 3-1 or 4-1.
Yep. Especially if you're Colorado, who is not going to make it to the playoffs this season. A little bit of an experiment here on the road. Jome and Burt going forward, and then Reeves coming off. It's basically just Jamal Jack and Schweitzer in the back defensively for Colorado.
The 90th minute has been reached. Burt getting his 7th goal to save some blushes. Can he find an eighth to make it interesting? With a strong run. But now what? Has a go. And took a deflection and a strange curling bounce that goes wide for yet another Crown Plaza Albuquerque corner.
A good run there by Zome. You see the space, attack it. That deflection almost goes in.
Ball into the 6, headed clear by Frater, doing the dirty work defensively. Robinson with a burst of speed into the 18. And another ball through the 6 that no one could see in time to tap home.
These last 10 minutes for New Mexico United's defense has been very, very worrying and nervous for sure. Look at this burst right there. Great burst there by Saeed Robinson getting Ron Soler.
And again, doing that in the 90th minute at altitude. Stoppage time brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. We are in the orange zone now. 3 minutes added, and we're already 30 seconds in. Little giveaway. Bruce turning upfield and cutting to the inside. Had Frater, had Wehan, but elects to take it off the fire. Problem was his teammate Tony Soler did not, so they give the ball right back, but the referee correcting his mistake, but also trying to keep things calm.
I know that Daniel Bruce, I know they're up 2 goals here, but if Wehan and Frater are making the run on that counterattack, you got to continue that run and attack that defense, get a 4th goal, and really put this game away.
Even though goal differential, not the first tiebreaker, it is in the equation, and you never know how tight things are.
Absolutely.
Jome cutting to the inside, but a quiet stretch run by Gonzalez. Good work by the United defense. Frater through the legs and then pays the price. And even more pushing and shoving. Jordan Burt not happy. Take another look at Devon Frater. And Fernando Gonzalez didn't appreciate it much.
That is a player with supreme confidence. Oh, that was sweet, to say the least, by Kevon Frater.
Donso trying to burst through the middle, but dispossessed. Final 30 seconds. Estrada, Frater. Well, it's been another episode in continuing frustration for Wolde Harris and the Switchbacks. But for Troy Lesane, 10 wins to go against 10 losses now, and up to 40 points, getting closer towards clinching a playoff spot. Schweitzer decked as he dishes, and a foul just outside the arc. And now we'll have a little extra orange time.
Set piece defending is critical for New Mexico, I think. Although from this angle, straight away, this might just be a shot on frame. So this is where Cody Mizell is going to have to place his wall very smartly, intelligently here.
Wouldn't be surprised if this is the final touch of the game. All eyes and ears on Hadadko for that whistle. They've already lost the clean sheet. Jome in the first half with a free kick that just hit the wall, almost made it over. Does that take a bit of the bravery out of those 5 men defending the goal? Gambian strikes and just squirts it wide, and that is going to do it. The final kick of the match A pretty free kick, but not quite as beautiful as Devin Sandoval's hat trick. 3-0 the final. New Mexico United over Colorado Springs.
Yeah, and a great performance by New Mexico United. Some shaky moments defensively toward the end. That was after they had that 3-1 advantage. So Devin Sandoval definitely deserving a man of the match.
Star Brothers Brewing Company star of the match with his first hat trick of his professional career, Devin Sandoval.
He did it with his head, with his feet. Great reaction and technique. Great game by Devin Sandoval.
And a good game by New Mexico United as they look to continue their push towards the postseason.
United event to get $25 credit on your ride. You enjoy some drinks tonight or just want to guarantee a safe ride home? Use the code No Excuses. Once again, a big thank you to Road Bus Owner for making sure all our United pictures from tonight, be sure to tag us. Fans, thanks again for coming out tonight. Our attendance, 12,122. And your New Mexico United, because of you, is still ranked #1 in attendance in the entire USL. Fans,
Welcome back. A convincing performance by New Mexico United. A slight blemish at the end, just enough for the manager to say there's still things to work on. Take a look at our Michelob Ultra play of the match and a sensational finish to a sensational game for Devin Sandoval.
It sure was. Look how much time Padilla has to spot the run of Devin Sandoval. He gets inside of Jamal Jack, and that snap header is superb. From start to finish, this is a brilliant goal by Devin Sandoval, and the service by Manny Padilla was absolutely perfect.
So that was our play of the game, but it wasn't the only one as Sandoval mingles. Let's take a look back at some of the highlights on the night. And the Switchbacks had a few of their own, but here a little sloppy defending, and Sandoval makes them pay.
Yeah, Jaume does not clear it. He had time to actually settle the ball and clear it away, but instead he deflects, and Sandoval one-time the shot, brilliant play, and then a mistake in the back by Christopher Reeves. And how about the finish there? It's Padilla again with the ball through to Sandoval. And look at this, outside of the right foot, in between the legs of Abraham Rodriguez for his second goal of the match. And then this is the third one. Man, this is beautiful football, beautiful soccer right here. Padilla with the service, linking up with Sandoval again. And then the header, the run into space. A great performance by New Mexico, and back-to-back 3-1 victories for New Mexico United. This is a problem for New Mexico going forward, especially since they want to reach the playoffs. Jordan Burt, unmarked, easy header. Pull one back so that they avoid the clean sheet, avoid being shut out, but too little too late for Colorado.
There, as you see, 20 shots. In fact, the Switchbacks with even more, but 6 of the 8 on target, about as efficient as you could get.
Yeah.
Plus the 63% possession.
Yeah, and these are stats that were similar to the first half stats. We thought that, all right, New Mexico's second half, they might absorb a little more pressure, but they maintain the possession, maintain the aggression going forward in attack, shots and shots on target. It was a well-deserved victory and an entertaining game by New Mexico United in
So
terms of how they
winding
played.
to a close, the Red Bulls, Indy 11, and Phoenix Rising have all clinched spots in the postseason, and New Mexico United jumps up to 8th with a 3-1 win. Still a lot of work to do, but what a performance by Sandoval and United against Colorado Springs. For George DiBattellis, I'm Bill Shane. The final score from Isotopes Park, New Mexico United 3, the Colorado Springs Switchbacks 1.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.